Hey, okay, so I wanted to start. Well, I just like moved my head super fast. Okay, I wanted to start a um series of videos that will be focusing on one tarot card in particular because I love tarot cards and just want to give them the attention they deserve individually. And the card I pulled today, which is probably like the least liked card besides the Ten of Swords, the Devil, and Death, probably. But I happen to like this card and all the other negative cards because they represent things within us that are just inherently human. And I don't honestly like the depth in the depth of my beliefs. Like I don't feel like humans are inherently bad or like have anything deeply rooted within us. There's like a weird sounds like someone's on my roof. Okay, kind of scared. Um, I don't think people have like inherently like the devil within them. Like, I know there are like bad people in the world, but I think in the big scheme of things, people aren't bad, and I feel like love and I don't know. I maybe just sound like a hippie right now, but like I feel like there's more good than bad, and in people, um, I think we get so afraid of the negative within us. We get so afraid of like I guess what we're capable of the and we're afraid of thinking we might be capable of certain things or um, afraid of certain feelings we have, thinking we're the only ones who have them. And this past year in particular, I have been faced with my demons. 2016 was hard for a lot of people, and I feel like it was because um, there are things within us that we don't even know we have the ability to feel. Um, the emotional body, the emotional world of a person is just so large and vivid and um, extensive that it's hard to like you don't just come into the world knowing every feeling there is. There's like catalysts that you're met with throughout your life that bring up really, really good and really, really negative feelings that sometimes you're not aware of having until you have them. And this year I was really like met with myself kind of, like I found emotions within myself that were embarrassing and that were scary to feel, and um, emotions just are really tricky, and drives and the subconscious and just being a human, we have inherently good and bad. And if you want to be like reach your potential and really kind of milk the most out of the good things, you have to be aware of your weak points. So with the devil, I just want to like touch on the positive and negative traits of this card and this archetype, um, because I believe that like and I don't know, I want to state my beliefs just so it's where so you can like know where I'm coming from, but I don't want to like sound preachy or like this wouldn't fit anyone else's beliefs, because I feel like it would. But my beliefs are that our nature, because everyone loves to feel love. Like this is kind of like the how I was got to the conclusion when I was really young. I'm not gonna get into everything in my whole life, but when I was young, I was looking for something to believe in. Like I was looking through different religions and things and belief systems, and I just basically came to the conclusion that whatever is most natural to us is probably what we come from, or what we inherently are. It's probably like it's our home. That feeling is our home feeling. And love and happiness feels good to everyone. Love, I feel like, is the most powerful force, because you can get someone to do something. When people like go to war, they go to war to protect their families, to protect the things that they love. They don't go, I mean, I'm sure there are people who go because they love to fight and everything, but when you rally up like soldiers for battle, they're proud because they're protecting what they love. They're fighting for love. And like in people, when people have business deals, I was reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, and they were saying, Dale Carnegie, the author, was saying that to convince someone of something, you have to tell them what they're going to get out of it. They have to feel like a want and a love and a need for something. You can't scare someone into doing it. So I don't feel like this, the devil, like I don't feel like, and what it represents is human nature, or is bad. I feel like those vices and the things that we want, we're drawn to them because they teach us something about ourselves. Okay, this might be getting a little scattered, but so the devil to me represents, like, this card represents like hedonism and pleasure and sort of losing yourself in the idea of something, or it's a disconnect basically. And because when you're in love, not in love romantically, but when you're in the energy of love and you're connected to that part of yourself, it's not like this. You're not chained to it. There's a freedom in that. There's a freedom in knowing what you want and what feels right and pure and wholesome. And when you're in this, kind of in the illusion, then there's a disconnect and you're chained to it. You don't have that freedom. But I feel like there's a positive and a negative to this card, because on the positive side, a lot of times when I get this card, it's for people who are deeply, like when I'm doing readings for myself or for other people, it's when people have lost their excitement for life. And then this sometimes comes up as an advice card. And I know right away that it's like you need to have a balance of taking and giving. So a lot of people are very good at giving, which, I mean, I know there's a balance in the world. I think there's people who just take and take, and it's hard to, I mean, those are the ones that we hear about the most because they're the ones that hurt us, but we hurt ourselves by only giving. And there's a lot of people, I think mostly those are the ones that need advice, and so they get readings, but because the other people are content with just taking. But it's the people who don't know how to take that come for readings a lot of times, and this will be their advice card really often. And when I would first get it, I would think like how could this be the advice? Like, how could the devil be the advice? But the devil is just, it represents a part of us. It's the part of us that is more animalistic, more primal, more because if you just grow up and you're just this kind of person, the person who just takes what they want and has a very like base level drive, like what they want out of life is very survival mode, and they're not thinking about like philosophy or how to be a good person or like anything moral, then they're very much like this. It's just kind of like conquer and take over material things. But for people who aren't that way naturally, for people who don't just take, this card a lot of times for me like symbolizes that you need to give in to more selfish desires, more pleasurable experiences, and not be afraid to not only see this in yourself, but to accept that you have that within you and that it's okay, and everyone does. So, I mean, on the negative side, it could mean that you're just like when what I think about when this card comes up, like the kind of idea I have in my head of what the devil would represent would be, I think of kind of like a sports guy, like a football player or something, just as an example. And you know, when they get like in their Playboy bachelor mode kind of thing, where like they have like a bachelor pad and like a bunch of alcohol and like women, and they don't call their mom kind of thing. Like you just give yourself away and you feel empty. Like those people, I'm sure, feel empty inside because they um they're like kind of suppressing their soul to overindulge in the stuff of the body, of the physical body, and like physical desires, carnal instincts. So it's kind of the image I get of this, and sometimes you need some of that in your life. Some people overdo it, and some people need it. And so this card I don't feel like is negative or positive. I think it depends on the reading and the surrounding cards and the person, and whatever your energy you're reading for. But yeah, that's just like my take on this card, the devil. And yeah, if anyone watches this and has any thing to add, I'm open to it. That's what I love about the tarot is, I mean, I feel like they're images that just, they're like archetypes, and I feel like no matter how much you learn, there's always more to learn because energy is so like pliable and changing and expanding, and this, like it relates throughout time. Like these are all like medieval. I don't remember when tarot was first created. Like there's a bunch of historical information out there that's kind of that varies, but it was hundreds of years ago at least, and it still relates today, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I hope you, I don't know, I guess I hope this just made you think a little, or you can relate, or whatever you get from it. But I just wanted to share, and I love tarot cards and talking about them. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.